If you're buying Zillow leads or you're thinking about buying Zillow leads, this video is for you. In this video, I'm gonna go over a step-by-step guide that I use to convert Zillow leads at a pretty high level. And it's important to do this because Zillow leads can be really expensive. So I'm gonna break down a guide on how to take those Zillow leads that you're getting and turn them into more sales. So Zillow leads, are they worth it or are they not? Well, in this video, I'm gonna go over a guide on how I was able to convert a lot more Zillow leads when they were coming in. Because I hear many agents say that the leads are bad, but I don't believe the leads are bad. I think that they're just very expensive. But the leads themselves, they're not bad. And in this video, I'm gonna go over a step-by-step guide that you can use to start converting those leads into sales if you're gonna buy Zillow leads. Now, do I think there are other things that you can do to generate real estate business other than buying Zillow leads? Absolutely. But if you're hard pressed on investing money into Zillow leads and your market still has good margins and you can make money with it, then this guide will help you convert them at a higher rate. Now, I broke this down to 3 really easy steps. So the first thing is you want to answer the phone on time. Here's why. Zillow changed their platform around and they're doing direct connects now. So what that basically means is when the client calls, they get connected to a Zillow customer service person. That person takes the lead and then they find an agent. And what they want someone that's going to answer the phone because they have a hot prospect on the phone and they want to make sure that they get connected ASAP, because the faster they can connect that person to a local agent, the better it looks for Zillow. So they are looking for agents that are answering the phone at a 90% rate or higher. So every 10 times you get a phone call, they want you to answer it 9 times. The lower that satisfaction score goes, the less leads you're gonna get. And the higher that score goes, the more leads you're gonna get, because other Premier agents that are investing in the platform, they're gonna get calls, and when they don't answer, they're gonna go to the next agent that has the highest satisfaction score. That's just how the system is set up right now. So the higher your satisfaction score is, and the better you do with these calls, the more leads you're gonna get. The next thing is probably the most important thing. Now, this is number 2. This is get off the subject property. Now, this sounds a little weird. When somebody calls you up and asks you about, say, 123 Main Street, many agents dive into it and they start answering questions about that property and they only focus on that property. If you do that, you're just going to be an order taker and you're never gonna get the client. Here's why. When people call on Zillow, they're just looking for specific questions about a specific property. And if you give those answers and then you just hang up the phone and don't discover more, they're gonna hang up, and then when they find another property, they're gonna get connected with another agent. Now, this cycle will go on until they find an agent that knows how to convert leads, that pulls them into the office and provides real value. So that's what you wanna do. You can answer the questions, and then what you wanna do is you wanna say, I know you like this property, but just in case we can't get this one, tell me a little bit more about what you're looking for. What's your ideal home look like? Where do you want to live? These are all discovery questions, and it's going to make that person realize that you actually care about their home buying process, and you're probably the go-to expert that they should buy a home through. After you get through that, I would spend about 15 to 20 minutes. You want to move on to the next stage, which is get face-to-face as soon as possible. Internet leads oftentimes are all over the place. They're opting into lead capture websites. They're opting into Zillow, Realtor.com. There's a million websites that these people are shopping on. And the faster you can get face-to-face, the more likely you are to work with them as a client. If you just let these leads ride out and you try to, show them houses online and you go back and forth, there's a high probability that they're gonna connect with an agent that's really sharp and really skilled. They're gonna pull them into the office, do a buyer consultation, and that's it. You won't hear from these people ever again, and you just probably wasted $100 to $200 on an internet lead that you're never gonna get paid from. So the fact that you need to get them face-to-face, I know can be a little intimidating, and many agents don't even do buyer consultations. But if you're gonna work internet leads and spend a lot of money on this lead source, it's important that you discover the skill set of doing buyer consultations face-to-face and really setting a good example, because working online leads is a lot different than working your sphere of influence. Your sphere of influence already knows you, they like you, it's a warm referral. They trust the person that referred you to them. So it's a lot different, and it takes a lot less skill, in my opinion, to work those leads. On top of that, with that lead source, you're not shelling out money every month, and there's a lot less risk. So what I would say is, if you're gonna spend money on this lead source, sharpen your skills. Sharpen the skills as much as you can and become really proficient and become a professional, because that's how you're gonna get a good ROI on this lead source. Now, you might be asking, what if they don't wanna come in the office? Well, that's a good question. If they don't wanna come in the office, I would try to set an appointment to show them one property. After you show them one property, try to build as much rapport as you can. And then after that meeting, you want to try to get them back to the office for a full buyer consultation, discover what their wants and needs are, and provide as much value as you possibly can. If possible, even get them to a lender and get them pre-approved ASAP. If they don't want to do either one of those things, then you have to put them in your sales funnel. So any sales business needs a sales funnel. So I don't know why real estate agents aren't familiar with this concept, but it's a really powerful tool to start implementing into your business. So you want to build out a sales funnel that can track these leads, and that way you can stay on top of them and nurture the lead until they're ready to go. So if they can't come to a consultation, you can't convert the lead right away, which you probably can with a Zillow lead. 9 out of 10 times the Zillow lead is a lot more ready and able than other lead sources. But if you can't do it, you want to put them in your CRM, and you want to have a follow-up system in place to be able to stay in contact with this person and try to convert them as soon as you possibly can. Because the longer you wait and the longer time you wait to actually meet this person face to face, the higher the chance of somebody else intercepting that lead and getting them as a client becomes. So this is basically how a sales funnel works. You have the lead that comes in. It turns into a nurture or a consult. If it turns into a nurture, you want to nurture this lead until it turns into a buyer consultation. If it doesn't ever turn into a buyer consultation, you probably lost them. Now, they might call you out of the blue, especially if you have a good follow-up system in place, but the chances are you want to try to get them to a consult. Once you get them to a consult, they become clients, and then they turn into pending contracts. Once they turn into pending contracts, about 70 to 80% of them, if you're using a good quality lender, will end up closing. And then the last step of this is actually the payday. So once they actually close, it spits out a commission, and now you have a consistent, reliable business. And that's how you want to build out your sales funnel. And the goal is to get as many people to the top of the funnel and just work them down. And the better you can get at this system and the more efficient you can get, the more money you're gonna make and the more money that's gonna come out of the bottom. So this is a really cool way to think about it, and it's a good way to build a consistent and reliable real estate business. So if you have any questions about Zillow leads and how to convert them, drop them in the comment section below. If you have a real estate friend that would love to see this, definitely share it with them. And for more real estate content, hit the like button, subscribe, and thanks so much for tuning in.